Hi everyone. Let's do some questions from Work Energy Power chapter. Question number 6.3. Given figures are examples of some potential energy functions in one dimension. The total energy of the particle is indicated by a cross on the ordinate axis. In each case, specify the regions, if any, in which the particle cannot be found for the given energy. Also indicates the minimum total energy the particle must have in each case. Think of some physical context for which these potential energy shapes are relevant. Okay, so now let's discuss about all these cases. Just before that, we already learned about total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. That means we can find out kinetic energy is equal to total energy minus potential energy. So always the total energy must be greater than potential energy. If the total energy is less than potential energy, what may happen? The kinetic energy become negative value. Kinetic energy of any body can never be negative, right? So this is the important points we have to consider just before doing these problems. Now look at the first case here. O2A. Is there any chance for finding the particle here? You can see here the total energy is marked here as a cross. This is the total energy given in the first picture, right? And the potential energy you can see from O to A is 0. So in this case, in the first case we can say here the potential energy is less than the total energy. So in this case kinetic energy is positive value. Kinetic energy is positive. In which region? O to A. So in O to A we can find the particle, correct? But from A to that remaining points, okay, if x is greater than A, what will happen there? If x is greater than A, the potential energy you can see here, this is the potential energy that is marked here V0. That means this is the total energy. You can see here the potential energy is greater. So in that region, what will happen? The kinetic energy become negative value. Kinetic energy become negative value. So the region when x is greater than A, we cannot find any particle. So in the region x greater than A, the particle cannot be found for the given energy. Okay, so this is the first question is talking about. One more point is talking about indicate the minimum total energy of the particle must have in each case. So from 0 to A, the minimum total energy that particle can have is equal to 0. So in between O to A, the minimum total energy it can possess that is equal to what? 0. So that is the first diagram is talking about. Now look at the second diagram here. In the second diagram, once again O to A, total energy is this one and the potential energy here marked here this one. And in that region, that means from O to A, you can see from O to A, potential energy is greater than the total energy. So what will happen? The kinetic energy in that region become negative. Same way, greater than B. So this is the point B. So from B towards this one, towards this side, from B, you can see the potential energy is greater and the total energy somewhere here is coming, right? So potential energy will be once again greater. So in this case also kinetic energy is negative. Here also kinetic energy is what? Negative. So from O to A and from B to remaining points, we cannot find any particle. Okay, the particle cannot be found in that region because the kinetic energy is coming there, it is negative. Now the region in between A and B, that means A to B, see the region A to B, potential energy is given the minus V1, right? Potential energy is equal to minus V1 and the total energy is, you can see here, this is the total energy. So in this case the total energy will be greater than the potential energy. So here kinetic energy become what? Positive. So in between A to B we can find the particle. Okay, so the minimum total energy the particle must have in this case is equal to what? Minus V1. The minimum total energy the particle must have in this case is equal to what? Minus V1. So this is the second picture. Look at the third picture here. That means C here, marked is C. You can see here, this is the total energy, right? This is the total energy, and the potential energy in all the cases, O to A to B, B to C, all the cases, the potential energy is greater than the total energy. So in every case, what will happen? The kinetic energy will be a negative value. It will never happen, right? So you cannot find any particle in all the regions is marked in this third picture. Clear? Now look at the fourth one. Here you can see in the fourth one, the region in between minus a by 2 to minus b by 2. That means this region. You can see here, this is a region, you can see minus a by 2 to minus b by 2. Potential energy will be greater than the total energy. Potential energy will be greater than total energy. So in this region, what will happen? The kinetic energy? Kinetic energy become once again negative value. Same way in this region also kinetic energy become negative value because the potential energy will be greater than the total energy. So the particle can find only in which region? Minus a by 2 to plus a by 2. In this region only we can find what? The particle. Why? So in this region the total energy will be greater than the potential energy. So in this region kinetic energy become a positive value. Kinetic energy become a positive value, so the particle can find only in this region. And the minimum total energy the particle must have in each case is equal to what? That is equal to minus V1. So this is all about the question number 6.3. Now let's do question number 6.9. A body is initially at rest, that is u is equal to 0. It undergoes one-dimensional motion with a constant acceleration. So here the acceleration is constant, and the power delivered to it at time t is proportional to. What is the power formula? Power is equal to force into velocity, right? And power is equal to mass into acceleration into velocity. F is equal to ma according to Newton's second law. So what is a v here for a uniformly accelerated motion? V is equal to u plus at. So v is equal to 0 plus at. Initial velocity is equal to 0. So v is equal to at. You can substitute here, power is equal to mass into acceleration into at. That is, power is equal to mass into acceleration square into t. Mass and acceleration is constant. So power is directly proportional to what? T. So the option is second option. Now let's do the question number 6.10. A body is moving unidirectionally under the influence of a source of constant power. Okay, power is here what? A constant, right? Now as we already know, power is equal to what? Work done divided by time. So work done is equal to what? Power into T. Its displacement in time t is proportional to. We have to calculate here the displacement is directly proportional to what? In terms of time. So when the body is moving unidirectionally under the influence of a source of constant power, definitely the body will be moving, right? So the kinetic energy, how much work is done here? That is converted into what? Kinetic energy. So half mv square will be equal to the work done, which is equal to what? Power into t. So now you can calculate here what? Half mv square is equal to power into t. So v square is equal to what? 2pt divided by m, or v is equal to square root of 2pt divided by m. We can write this equation as v is equal to square root of 2p divided by m into root t, right? So v is equal to root of 2p divided by m into t to the power 1 by 2. As we already learned, v is equal to first derivative of displacement. So we can write dx is equal to velocity into dt. So dx is equal to v. What is v here? Root of 2p divided by m into t to the power 1 by 2 into dt. So in order to find the total displacement in time t, we have to integrate this one, right? So integral dx is equal to integral root of 2p divided by m into t to the power 1 by 2 into dt. So left hand side become the total displacement x value, and in the right hand side root of 2p divided by m can be taken outside because it's a constant. P and mass are constant. Power and mass are constant. Integral t to the power 1 by 2 dt. As you already learned, integral x to the power n dx is equal to x to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Same way, integral t to the power 1 by 2 dt is equal to t to the power 1 by 2 plus 1 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1. That is equal to what? T to the power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. If you substitute here in the displacement, x is equal to root of 2p divided by m into t to the power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. That is, x is equal to 2 divided by 3 into root of 2p divided by m into t to the power 3 by 2. As we already know, power and mass are constant, right? So x is directly proportional to t to the power 3 by 2. Option 3 is the answer. Now let's do question number 6.12. An electron and a proton are detected in a cosmic ray experiment. The first with the kinetic energy, what is the kinetic energy given? The 10 kilo electron volt. What is the value? 10 kilo electron volt. As we already learned, maybe 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. And the second with 100 kilo electron volt, which is faster, the electron or the proton. Obtain the ratio of their speed. Some values are given, the electron mass is given, the proton mass is also given, the and 1 electron volt is also equal to what? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So first of all, what is the kinetic energy of electron? What is the kinetic energy of electron? It is given the 10 kilo electron volt, right? So we can write here what? 10 to the power 4 electron volt. So what is the kinetic energy? Kinetic energy of electron is equal to what? That is equal to half into me into ve square, mass of the electron and velocity of electron square. And that is equal to 10 to the power 4 electron volt. Electron volt we can convert into joule by multiplying 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So we got now kinetic energy of electron. So here kinetic energy half into what is the mass of the electron? Mass of the electron is given the 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31 into ve square, which is equal to 10 to the power 4 here cancel, that is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 15. If you calculate, we can calculate here VE is equal to, what is VE is equal to? VE square is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 15 into 2 divided by 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31. So VE is equal to square root of 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 15 into 2 all divided by 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31. If you do this calculation, we will be getting the electron velocity is equal to what? 0.593 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Kinetic energy of proton is given the 100 kilo electron volt, that is equal to 10 to the power 5 electron volt, that is equal to 10 to the power 5 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So that is equal to half into mp into vp square is equal to what? What is the value become? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 14. So we can calculate here Vp. Same way we can do it. Vp square is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 14 into 2 divided by what is the mass of the proton given? The mass of the proton is given the 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27. If you find the square root of Vp, then we can calculate Vp is equal to 0.0438 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. You see which one is greater, VE or VP. So that is the question is talking about which is faster, the electron or the proton. So definitely you can see here which one is faster. So electron is moving faster than the proton. Now next question is talking about what is their ratio. What is their ratio? You have to calculate here electron velocity to the proton velocity, which is equal to 0.593 divided by 0.0438. 10 to the power 8 will cancel. So what is the ratio? VE divided by VP is approximately equal to 13.5. That is the ratio in between electron velocity and proton velocity. And moreover, we have discussed the electron is faster than proton. So let's do the question number 6.15. A pump on the ground floor of building can pump up water to fill a tank of volume 30 meter cube. So volume has to fill here 30 meter cube in 15 minutes. That is time is given the 15 minute, that is equal to 15 into 60, that is equal to 900 second. So time is also given the tank is placed at 40 meter height. So H is given the 40 meter and the efficiency of the pump. Efficiency means what? We used to represent efficiency eta. Efficiency is equal to output power divided by input power. And the efficiency of the pump is 30 percentage. So eta is given the efficiency eta is given the 30 percentage. 30 percentage is the efficiency. How much electric power is consumed by the pump? That means you have to calculate here the input power you have to calculate. So basic formula, input power is equal to output power divided by eta. So first case we have to calculate here what? Output power. So let's calculate the output power. Output power is equal to the work done divided by time taken. How much is the work is done now here to raise the water? That is equal to mgh divided by time taken. So in this given equation, mgh divided by t, ght is known but we don't know the mass. Mass can be calculated using density is equal to mass by volume. So what is a mass is equal to? Mass is equal to volume into density. Volume is given there here what? 30 meter cube. 30 meter cube into. Now what is the density of water? Density of water is equal to what? 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube. So what is the mass is equal to? You can see here 30 into 10 to the power 3, that is 3 into 10 to the power 4 kilogram is the mass. Now you can substitute here power output is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 4 into g can be taken as 10. So 10 into height is equal to 40 divided by time is equal to what? 900. Okay, so this 0 0 0 0 cancel, 3 here 3 times. Now 4 by 3, 4 divided by 3 into 10 to the power 4. So you got 4 by 3 into 10 to the power 4 watt is the output power. Now let's calculate the input power. Input power is equal to power output. What is the power output? 4 divided by 3 into 10 to the power 4 divided by, right, divided by 30 percentage. 30 percentage means what? 30 divided by 100. So you'll be getting about 4 divided by 3 into 10 to the power 4 into 10 to the power 2, that is 100, divided by 30. So what is the final answer here? You can see here 0 cancel, 10 to the power 5, 4 divided by 9 into 10 to the power 5. 4 divided by 9 into 10 to the power 5. This is equal to 4 by 9 is approximately what? 0.44. 0.44 into 10 to the power 5, that is equal to, if you write in standard form, 4.4 into 10 to the power 4. 4.4 into 10 to the power 4, that is equal to approximately 44 into 10 to the power 3 watt, that is equal to what? Approximately 44 kilowatt. So this is the way to do this question. Now let's do 6.18. Question number 6.18. The bob of pendulum is released from a horizontal position. You see this one? This is the symbol pendulum. Okay. This is actual position. Now the symbol pendulum position is here. This is the horizontal position. If the length of the pendulum is 1.5 meter. So length of the pendulum is 1.5 meter. What is the speed with which the bob arrives? Okay. That means if you release this bob, you can see here the bob will now go like this. It will go like this, right? So arrives at the lowermost point. So this is the lowermost point. Given that is dissipated 5% of its initial energy. Okay. So what is the initial energy here? Initial energy mean this, if you consider this is the reference point, this much height is raised by this symbol pendulum, right? Height is equal to what? Same as the length of the symbol pendulum, that is equal to 1.5 meter. So what is the total energy now it possesses? That is equal to mgh. So the initial energy is equal to mgh. Now when this bulb is now released and reached at the lowermost point, what happened? The 5% of its initial energy is dissipated. Right? If the 5% is lost, what is the remaining energy at the lowermost point? That is equal to 95% of initial energy. Which energy now it possesses at lowermost point? That is equal to kinetic energy, right? So half mv square is equal to 95% of the initial energy. That is equal to 95 divided by 100 into what is the mass of the bulb given the 95 divided by 100 into m into g. G you take it as 10. 10 into height is equal to what? 1.5 meter, right? So we can write here half mv square is equal to 95 divided by 100 m into g. G is 10 into 1.5. Here m cancel. Therefore, it's asking for what? At what speed the bulb arrives. So we can write here v square is equal to, you take the 2 to the right hand side, so 95 divided by 100 into 2 into 10 into 1.5, correct? So v is equal to square root of 95 divided by 100 into 2 into 10 into 1.5. So if you find the square root, you will be getting the answer approximately 5, or nearly you can write the answer as what? 5.2 meter per second. So this is a way to do what? Question number 6.18. Now let's do the question number 6.20. A particle of mass 0.5 kilogram, mass is equal to 0.5 kilogram, travels in a straight line with a velocity u is given, the velocity u is equal to given the a into x to the power 3 by 2, where what is the a given? The a is equal to value, magnitude is equal to 5, unit is meter raised to minus 1 by 2 s to the power minus 1. What is the work done by the net force during the displacement from x equal to 0 to x equal to 2 meter? Correct? So how much work is done here? If you use the work energy theorem, we can use here W is equal to change in kinetic energy. That is equal to final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. Therefore, W is equal to half into mv square minus half into mu square. That is work done is equal to half into m into v square minus u square. Now let's calculate what is the initial velocity when x is equal to 0 and what is the final velocity when x is equal to 2 meter. Velocity general equation is given the a into x to the power 3 by 2. Initial velocity when x is equal to 0, when x is equal to 0, that is initial velocity, right? That is equal to a into x is equal to what? 0. 0 raised to 3 by 2, that is equal to what? 0. If so, what is the final velocity? Final velocity set as u itself when x is equal to 2 meter. X is equal to 2 meter. That we have taken here what? V. That is equal to a into 2 to the power 3 by 2. 2 to the power 3 by 2. So we got the value what? V. Now you substitute this value here. If you substitute this value, W is equal to 1 by 2 into, now what is the mass? 0.5 kilogram into, what is V? A 2 to the power 3 by 2. So we have to find what? Square of that one. So we can write here what? A into 2 to the power 3 by 2 all square minus 0 square, because u is equal to 0. So if you calculate, W is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 by 2, 0.5 is 1 by 2 itself, right? And a square, right? A square into 2 to the power 3 by 2. What is 2 to the power 3 by 2 means? That is equal to what? Root of 8. Root of 8. So root of 8 whole square. Root of 8 whole square. That is equal to 8 itself, right? So we can write here about 8. Now just to substitute the value, 1 by 4 into, what is A? A is given, the magnitude is 5. So 5 into 5, 25 into 8. So what is the final answer? 8 into 25, 200 divided by 4, which is equal to 50. 50 joule is the answer. Now let's do question number 6.21. The blades of a windmill sweep out a circle of area A. If the wind flows at a velocity v perpendicular to the circle, what is the mass of the air passing through it in time t? So we have to calculate here what first? Mass of the air. Second one, what is the kinetic energy of the air? Third one, assume that the windmill converts 25% of the wind's energy into electrical energy. Okay, and that area is given the, and the speed is given the, density of the air is given the, so what is the electrical power consumed? So first of all, let's calculate what is the volume of the air passing through the windmill in time t. So we can write here volume is equal to area into distance covered by the wind, right? Distance covered by the wind in time t. So we can write here the distance covered by the wind. So V is equal to area into, what is the distance covered? Speed is given, right? Is equal to distance by time. We can write here A into V into T, AVT, correct? So this is the volume. If so, what is the mass of the air passing through it? As we already learned, density is equal to mass by volume. So mass is equal to what? Volume into density. That is equal to AVT into density. So this is the mass of the air passing through the windmill. Now the next one is asking for what is the kinetic energy of the air? Kinetic energy of the air is equal to half into m into v square. Half into m into v square. So we can write here half into mass. What is the mass here? Instead of mass, what we can write here? Mass is equal to AVT into density into v square. So that is kinetic energy is equal to half into A into v cube into T into rho. So this is the kinetic energy we got now. Now next one is asking for. So the first one we have calculated here the mass. Second one we have calculated here the kinetic energy. And third one is asking for what? The windmill converts 25% of the wind energy into electrical energy. Okay, 25%. So what is how much energy is now converted here? So kinetic energy of air is converted into electrical energy, right? So we can write here at that time kinetic energy dash is equal to what? 25% of the initial kinetic energy. That is equal to what? 25% of, what is the kinetic energy here? 1 by 2 AV cube T into rho. What is electrical power produced? Electrical power is equal to energy by time, right? So K dash or kinetic energy dash divided by time taken. So 25 divided by 100 into 1 by 2 AV cube T into rho divided by T. T will cancel here. So what is the final answer? 25 divided by 200 into AV cube rho. 25 divided by 200 means 1 by 8. So what is the power here? Electrical power produced power is equal to what? 1 by 8 into A into V cube into rho. Now substitute the value 1 by 8. What is the area given the in the question? That is given the 30. So area is 30. So into 30. Now what is a V? Speed is given the 36 kilometer per hour. So V is equal to 36 into 5 by 18, that is equal to 10 meter per second. Substitute here 10 to the power 3, right? 10 to the power 3 into density. What is the density of the air is given the, that is equal to 1.2. If you calculate this value, you will be getting the value as what? 4.5 into 10 to the power 3 watt. I hope you understood this one. Thank you.